I just want to give a special Ramadan Mubarak to everyone that celebrates. Today, I want to talk about the lessons that I have learned from participating in Ramadan fasting for the past 4 years. First off, I'm not Muslim. I consider myself to be like spiritual, but not religious. I grew up Christian, but I really appreciate learning about all religions. I have a deep respect for all religions. And I also, I'm able to criticize all religions equally. So, why do I even participate in Ramadan? I've always participated in different forms of fasting. And then I remember in college, I went to Standing Rock, North Dakota reservation for the No DAPL, like anti pipeline protests. And I saw activists there, including my friend Jazz, who they were participating in a fasting as a form of a protest. I've always seen fasting as something beneficial, either spiritually or like health wise. But I think what really changed for me was in 2022, I went to Nigeria with my friend Becky. It just so happens that our trip was during Ramadan. It was like right at the beginning of Ramadan because Nigeria is like 50% Muslim, 50% Christian. So I don't know why. I just didn't think that it was going to be as big as it was. Like Nigeria just kind of shut down in a way. And we still had a great time. The entire country recognized it as a holy month. So certain businesses were closed, bars and clubs were kind of empty. Even the Christians, they would participate in their own way. Like some of them wouldn't eat in front of their Muslim colleagues, or I met several Christians who were fasting, and overall, it just felt like the whole country really recognized Ramadan as a holy month, and they had a lot of respect for Ramadan, regardless of their individual religions or whether or not they were Muslim. I was talking to my friend's aunt who is Christian, but she was fasting, and just the way that she had talked about it, like it being that it was more about her own personal relationship with God rather than, being Muslim. I I don't know, something beautiful about the way that she described it. Becky's uncle, there was one day where it was hot. Like it was so hot. And we were all sweating and Becky's uncle was the only one that was fasting with us. He was driving us to all of these different places. We went to the bank, which if you've been to a Nigerian bank, you already know like that is a stressful situation. He took us to the mall, he took us to different markets. He drove us all around the town of Ibadan. And I don't know, every so often I was just thinking to myself, like, he's fasting? He hasn't had a sip of water. Like that's wow. I had a lot of respect for him, and like there was a bit like of a road rage moment and he still like was super calm and like peaceful, and I'm like, okay, that's dedication. Like so yeah, I think Nigeria really showed me like a way that you could participate in Ramadan, recognize it as like a holy and peaceful month, and just use it as a way to kind of reset, to refocus your mind, to deepen your relationship with God and also your relationship with yourself. So now, like, what have I learned? I have learned a lot about my relationship with food and why sometimes I overeat because I'm afraid of being hungry. I really feel like there's tons of health benefits. Like I've read a lot from Muslim scholars and just people in general about like the health benefits of fasting, of just giving your body the chance to not focus on digestion and focus on healing other parts of your body. I don't know if it cures cancer. Okay, maybe it does, but I've learned a lot about discipline and mindfulness. I think one of the most important things that I learned outside of like the health and relationship with food, all of that is great. But like the most important thing is like I've learned a lot about my faith, like my faith in myself. Like I remember the first year that I fasted was 2023, and there was a huge earthquake in Syria at the time. And it reminds you to have like hope and faith that like things are gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine no matter like what you're going through, because like you're not a little girl stuck underneath the rubble of an earthquake, like it just has reminded me to be really grateful for everything in my life. Like because I think about people in Gaza, in Lebanon, in Nigeria who they're fasting for Ramadan and they don't even know if there's going to be food at the end of the day or water at the end of the day. When I had first heard about Palestine and Gaza, was in 2014. It was during the month of Ramadan when the apartheid state was bombing the shit out of Gaza. Like you know that people are fasting, they haven't eaten, they haven't had food all day, and you that's when you choose to attack them. Every single year after that, I noticed that like Palestine would pop up on the news again. It would always be during the month of Ramadan where the apartheid state would just do the most egregious, most violent, most evil things. And it's just, I don't know, there's something so evil about it. I guess it also became kind of like solidarity fasting or like a political statement. On I never talked about this online or anything, but like it's just like between me and God, we know we're protesting. Like, that we're like in solidarity with people in Gaza and Lebanon and Syria and Nigeria and Iran and all of these people in conflict areas and war torn countries who are fasting. And that brings me to the final lesson that I have learned after participating in Ramadan fasting for 4 years straight. Muslims are not the people you want to play with. Like, I am like, you don't want to fuck with the Muslim community. You like stop playing around with these Muslim majority countries. Like, these are some of the most resilient people on the planet. Like, I don't know why anyone in their right mind would choose to fuck with people who starve themselves on purpose. Like I know that's not what's happening, but like you have to understand that like the resilience, the level of resilience that Ramadan puts in you, the level of hope and faith and like like you just I just feel like that's not the people you want to mess with. Like I don't think that Americans understand Islam and Ramadan enough to understand why Iran is not gonna quit. Like they're not gonna back down. Y'all need to leave these people alone. Cause like I don't know why y'all playing with these people. Get out of their country. Leave them people alone. Leave their land alone. Leave their oil alone. Leave their resources alone. Like you cannot you cannot mess with a group of people who will purposely choose not to eat or drink water and they'll still go to work. They'll still be outside. They'll still work out. They'll still yeah, like I don't know why anyone would choose to play around with Muslim people. Like leave these people alone, okay? Like they're always going to have hope. They're always going to have faith. Like they're always going to believe that God will bring them through. Because outside of Black Americans, the Muslim community is so resilient. Like,
no one exemplifies this more than Somali Americans. The resilience in their community is unmatched. I think it's time for y'all to leave these people alone. Leave the Congo alone. Leave Sudan alone. At this point, don't even look at Indonesia sideways.
and yet the US keeps playing around with them. Y'all haven't learned from Afghanistan? You haven't learned from Iraq? You haven't learned like now we're in Iran? Why? Why? Stop playing with these people. I came across this article headline. It was like the country that refuses to collapse. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I know why. Like you can't fuck with that level of faith. Like you cannot.